presentation of the vision on 2020 and innovations. I think I have a slight feeling that we are very much discussing a 2020 strategy, but I feel we need a 2010 strategy. Not talking about what we want to happen in 10 years' time, but what we need to do now. I say this because I think the need for changes are urgent. What we have seen during the crisis is important, but I think that what will come out of the crisis is even more important. Because in our economies, we have seen that Europe, Western Europe and US, has for a long, long time been dominant regarding innovations and research, with no one else challenging us. And we have also seen that we have had the advantage of economy of scale, making, from the beginning, Western European economies and US economies dominant in a global sense. Now this is not the case anymore. A figure that I think is important to remember is the figure 4.6 billion, because that is the number of people in the world who today have a mobile connection, which shows the change in a total way, because 10 years ago it was about 1 billion. And what this shows is the change of balance in the global economy, but also the change of vitality and opportunities in the global economy. And we have seen, as I said, that we've been dominant regarding innovations and dominant regarding economy of scale. But what we will now see is the scale of innovation, where big economies will have an opportunity to launch new innovations and new generations much more rapid, because they have the access to a huge market, and they have the science and research as well. And I think from this point of departure, I think our common task is to make a real change 2010, we'll start from that. And securing that what was once the coal and steel union can be the research and science union. And there is a paradox here, Mr. President and all others here. There is a paradox, because the more we are entering the knowledge economy and the knowledge society, the less we have of the internal market. Because the internal market is developed and legislated for industrial products, and less for advanced knowledge products and services. We can see that when we discuss patents or property rights of different kinds, but all for most services, they are excluded from the internal market. And regarding the knowledge market, it is very national. I would like us to do a change in 5 steps. First of all, secure that in the European universities and research institutions are independent as much as possible, because that is the way to make them European. Today they are, if I may say, and people from universities will be angry and disappointed to me, but today they are restructured in a way being either medieval institutions or public authorities serving the national interest. That is a restraint from becoming global knowledge centers, which I think all European universities and research institutions should be able to be. We need to do that, and we need to secure that we can have competition all over European borders, attracting students, researchers, professors to the most efficient and interesting universities, which will be different in different scientific areas. We need to increase opportunities for cooperation between universities. That is not a paradox to compete more. In spite, the opposite, because the more you put a pressure on universities and institutions to be the best, they will need to find their alliances and to secure a cooperation that will make them more and more able to compete. We need to make them more entrepreneurial. I think the whole success of US universities and research is about the entrepreneurial attitude in different universities, competing with each other about funding, professors, students, etc. Every time I look at a leaflet or brochure from an American university, I'm longing back to my time as a student because it looks much more nicer in the US, I must say. But there is a deeper meaning in that. And the last point, I think we need to increase the mobility of researchers. We do have that to some extent, the Marie Curie, etc., etc. But the whole discussion about networks is about making people able to be mobile. And I would like us to have a European research voucher, meaning that every researcher who is researching and acting in a university in another member state will bring with him or her an amount of money. Because then we will see the dynamics of attractive centers of excellence being even more attractive and even more excellent by getting better and better researchers and more funding in their specialized areas. In this way, we can achieve the result, making the universities the center and the core of the knowledge society in spite of some sort of delivery of students and education, to make them the core of the knowledge society and make them able to be global knowledge centers and make it possible to have not only Cambridge and Oxford in the lead of top universities in the world. We can get the top universities in each member state by these reforms. Thank you very much.